Good day, everyone. You're welcome to Melchizedek Global Music Ventures, also known as Mego Music Ventures. And today we are going to continue on our musical literacy journey to professionalism. We are going to continue with our major scale explanation. Last session we dealt with C major and D major scale. And today we are going into E major scale and F major scale. So let's go right in. So this is the representation of E major scale on the stack and on the keyboard. So let's get into the explanation right away. From E to F, we have a semitone. However, according to major scale pattern, we must have a tone between E and F, and in order to achieve this, we have to raise F by a semitone, which makes it F sharp. Therefore, we have from E to F sharp, we have a tone that is from E to F, we have a semitone, and from F to F sharp, we have a semitone. So from E to F sharp, we have semitone plus semitone. That is semitone of E to F plus semitone of F to F sharp equals a tone. So we are now on F sharp, not F, because the tone has taken us to F sharp. This also applies in order for us to get the next tone from F sharp. From F sharp to G, we have a semitone. However, according to major scale pattern, we must have a tone between F sharp and G. And in order to achieve this, we have to raise G by a semitone, which makes it G sharp. Therefore, we have from F sharp to G sharp, we have a tone that is a semitone from F sharp to G plus a semitone from G to G sharp equals a tone. So we are now on G. Remember, from E to F sharp, a tone. From F sharp to G, from F sharp to G sharp, a tone. And what we need now, according to our major scale pattern, is semitone. So from G sharp to A, not G, from G sharp to A, we have the required semitone for our major scale. So now we have tone, tone, semitone. E to F sharp tone, F sharp to G sharp tone, and G sharp to A is semitone. What we need now is a tone from A. Now from A to B, we have a tone that is A to A sharp, a semitone, A sharp to B, a semitone. Therefore, from A to B, we have semitone of A to A sharp plus semitone of B sharp. From A to B, we have a tone that is semitone of A to A sharp plus semitone of A sharp to B. That is a tone. A to A sharp and A sharp to B equals to a tone. From B to C, we have a semitone that is no black key between the notes. However, this does not conform to the major scale pattern. We must have a tone between B and C. And in order to achieve this, we have to raise C by a semitone, which makes it C sharp. Therefore, we have from B to C sharp, we have a tone that is from B to C, a semitone, and from C to C sharp, a semitone. Therefore, from B to C sharp, we have semitone plus semitone equals to a tone. From C sharp to D, we have a semitone. However, according to major scale pattern, we must have a tone between C sharp and D. And in order to achieve this, we have to raise D by a semitone, which makes it D sharp. Therefore, we have from C sharp to D sharp, we have a tone that is from C sharp to D, we have a semitone, and from D to D sharp, we have a semitone. So from C sharp to D sharp, we have semitone plus semitone equals to a tone. Semitone, semitone. So next, we have our final semitone. From D sharp to B, we have a semitone, which follows the major scale pattern, as we already have two tones, one semitone and three tones preceding this semitone. So we now have the major scale pattern of E to E, which follows the pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So the key we just worked on is E major scale, because we started on the key of E and we follow the pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone to reach the next key of the next E octave above, and that is why we call it E major scale. So that's about E major scale. If you have any question, you can comment on them in the comment section. And so these are the questions you can go through and also put your answer in the comment section. So next we have F major. This is a very unique key because it made use of a flat accidental instead of a sharp to achieve its major scale pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. It is called F flat major. It is not called F flat major scale because it started on the key of F and not F flat. So it is F major, not F flat major, because we started on the key of F and not F flat. So this is the representation on the star and on the keyboard using a keyboard chart. So let's go into the explanation. From F, not from G, from F to G, we have a tone. That is from F to F sharp, a semitone. From F sharp to G, a semitone. So from F to G, we have a tone, that is semitone of F to F sharp plus the semitone of F sharp to G. That is a tone. So we've gotten the first tone. What we need next is another tone. From G to A, we have a tone that says G to G sharp is a tone, and G sharp to A. G to G sharp is a semitone, and G sharp to A is a semitone. So you see, G to G sharp is semitone plus G sharp to A is semitone. So we have a tone, semitone plus semitone equals a tone. So we've gotten another tone. However, to follow the major scale pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, what we need between A and B is a semitone, as we already have two tones from F to G and G to A. Therefore, instead of B, we will have B flat, because we already have A. So we can use A sharp now, although it's the same thing, it's enharmonic from our previous explanations. So this is A sharp and B flat, the key, enharmonic. So we are going to be using B flat to get the semitone we want, and in order to make sure all the alphabets are represented, all the keys of the alphabet. Because if we use A sharp now, we now have two A alphabets omitting B. So we use B flat, which is the semitone that we need. So from B flat to C, we have we need a tone. Now, from B flat to C, we need a tone. So, but we have a semitone. So what we will do is, from B flat, we need a tone, and from B flat to B is a semitone, and then from B to C is a semitone. So let me explain proper again. We're already on B flat, right? Yes, we're already on B flat. And from B flat to C, we need a tone. You know, we are not on B yet. It's B flat because of our semitone, our previous semitone. So from B flat to C, we have a tone, that is B flat to B, we have a semitone. And from B to C, we have a semitone. B flat to B, a semitone. From B to C, a semitone. So our next tone is complete. So we now have tone, tone, semitone, then tone. So from F to G, a tone, from G to a tone, from A to B flat, a semitone, and from B flat to C, a tone, which conforms to a major scale pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So from C now to D, we need a tone according to our major scale pattern. So from C to D, we have a tone, that is C to C sharp is a semitone, C sharp to D is a semitone. So from C to D, we have a tone, semitone plus semitone equals to a tone. C to D, we have a tone, semitone plus semitone equals to a tone. So from D to E, we have a tone, that is from D to D sharp, a semitone, and then from D sharp to E, a semitone. So we have a tone. So we have a tone between D and E, which is semitone of D to D sharp plus the semitone of D sharp to E equals to a tone. And this conforms to our tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone of the major scale pattern. And what we need next is our final semitone, and that is from E to F. So this is how we got our F major scale. We used B flat because if we use A, it's going to be the repetition of A sharp with respect to A. I will be omitting B, which is B flat. So we have to use the B flat instead of A sharp. And that is, this kind of note is called enharmonic note, like we explained in our previous session. And so this is the F major scale, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So this is where we are going to stop for today's session. Thank you for joining us. See you in the next session. Thank you.